Hello, welcome to another Tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is a little miniature. It's called Riffing on William Keith, who's a guy I don't know much about. I'm going to actually pull up his Wikipedia page and maybe read about him. I took a lot of liberties. What's the story? I don't know. He's not actually, I don't think, really featured in the book History of American Tonalism, but having said that, maybe I'll look in the book and I'll see a whole chapter on him, and it could be the, what do you call it, Mandela effect or something like that. I don't know. He's pretty awesome, though, and so this is based on I think it's a very small painting of his. That was like there was a college site that had I'm searching for a bunch of Inesses from doing all the Ines studies, and I came across this. A lot of it, I tell you how and why, because sometimes the way I would search is by dragging an image into the image search, and Google's used to work good. It doesn't work very well at all now. It's almost completely useless, but Yandex has been a decent substitute, so try that out if you're trying to do the same thing. Anyway, some of these William Keith paintings, which had a bit of an Annecy feel, came up, and I just kind of squirreled them away. That's what I do, and that's what I recommend you do. If you come across an old painting that you like, put it in a folder. You know, one day you may be looking for some inspiration, and so there's quite a few of these that I thought, maybe I'll do some studies or something. So this is 3.5 by 3.5. It's a very small mini. The original took only like less than an hour. Actually would have liked to spend more than that if you include all the paint mixing and stuff. But I kept getting distracted and taken off, so I probably left it at maybe I would have maybe polished it up a little more, but it came out fine, and it looks good. And I've been doing these minis for I have an upcoming like artisans market, so just want to have a bunch of small works that I can sell to tourists and things. That's the plan. But in the process of doing this, lately I've been actually, we'll get into that at the end of the video. Let's talk about William Keith, my inspiration here, since I don't know anything about him. We'll learn a little bit together. Okay. I just thought I really love his work. Some of it is super like Hudson River School looking, you know. Some of it's very, very, very like advanced tonalism. Let's see. Born in 1838, lived to 1911, had a nice long life. Scottish-American painter famous for his California landscapes associated with tonalism and the American Barbizon School. Although most of his career was spent in California, he started out in New York, made 2 extended study trips to Europe, and had a studio in Boston. Was a friend of John Muir, did some epic paintings of High Sierra, 1880s. His wife passed in 1882. Turned for comfort to a friend. Swedenborgian minister who had a strong influence on his... Okay, so there's that Swedenborg element that he has in common with Ines, which is an attempt to paint the sort of unseen reality underneath reality. Very much a Swedenborgian concept. And Swedenborg was like a lot of things, actually. A spy, a philosopher. Basically was sort of running kind of a religious, I don't want to call it a cult, but probably the word wouldn't be that far off. Maybe like a cult without some of the negative cult things, you know, like you can't leave. I don't know much about it. I do know that I'm going to sniffle, pardon me. I had to sneeze before the video. Anyway, that's a little bit about him. Pull it up, look up some of your own. I'll probably read that through on my own time. Mostly, I'm not that huge on bio, like they lived here, they lived there, they married so-and-so. Probably like yourself, I'm interested in techniques. So let's talk about a little of that here. So we're painting on some hardboard. We're using oil paint. The board, it looks like it's a raw bit of hardboard, but actually it's been primed with 2 coats of transparent gesso. I used to work on more textured boards. This board is actually very smooth, and that's been a lot easier for my latest spate of minis. Lately I've been like reworking some minis from 2018 that just had some issues. One of the main issues is like a dullness, a darkness in color. I think I'm finally kind of pulling out of that, getting away from that. Finding myself still tonal, but a little crisper, a little brighter, which is good because that appeals more to contemporary tastes. When you really pull back on all those higher values. Yes, the work looks very tonal, but it also can be a bit dark looking, a bit dingy looking, so on and so forth. And so much of that is like a mental attitude, a mental framework that you hold as you're painting. Um, yeah, so I'm already into yeah, I'm talking about redos is what I'm talking about. So I've been holding off because I know once I start doing redos, I start tearing my way through a bunch of mediocre older paintings, many of which maybe I wasn't completely enthused with at the time, but didn't didn't always see everything wrong with them. But I'm kind of cleaning up my studio and getting in preparation for this upcoming markets, which is next month. And so I grabbed one of my minis off the wall, which is a painting I kind of liked. But I'm looking at it going, wow, really, I just wish you had more brightness in the sky, I said to myself, and ended up repainting the whole sky. Now, let me tell you something here. Let me tell you something. Uncle Mike's going to help you out. Redos are great. However, if you are on the fence, you kind of like the painting, don't redo every painting you ever did. Leave some of them alone. You know, the art historians of the future are going to really wish you would do some of that so that they can see your progress, right? You don't want to just go as you improve and start seeing the ways to improve your previous older paintings. There can be a great temptation to just go in and fix everything. And in some cases, your fixing isn't actually even really as good as you might think. I have redos of redos of redos, and actually, I will be honest with you, sometimes I improve them so incredibly. They're some of my favorite paintings. And one of the reasons for that is most of the time with redos, I don't have any reference up. I certainly don't pull up the original reference or anything like that. I'm just going off imagination and intuition, and you make a lot of interesting decisions sometimes. Yeah, I just did a little one this morning. It's okay. I certainly improved it from where it was. It had, that's another thing I want to mention. So minis can be real tough with these trees, not to have them look like little toy trees. You know what I'm saying? So, how would you avoid that? Well, make sure your trunks aren't too thick, you know, and just have an awareness of it. Now, that little area I'm painting now, that's going to be brighter, but I sort of struggled. I had a lot of other pigments in my brush. I did this yesterday, so I have tons of things actually I'd like to put up in the channel, but I found if I put up too many videos, it kind of messes with the I don't know, the algorithm. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you look down in the little description area there, you're going to see a link to my channel for figures, nude figures. I actually did put up a video, but YouTube gets so funny about it that, and none of these even have full frontal nudity. They don't even have exposed women's chests or anything like that. But they do have rear ends that are not covered, and yeah, those I'm doing also for this. I'm doing a bunch for this market because I know that work has an appeal to people, and it helps me cover some. I've sold quite a bit, so and there I've made some big advancements recently too. It's been, this last few months has been a pretty good time. I'm still coasting off of the, I think, doing all those like 25, almost 30 NS studies really helped me progress. And so that's just something for you to think about too. Maybe, I don't know if you want to go after a mini this small. There's a lot of challenges just with painting this small. It is really neat though. They look awesome, and you can put them. Man, what they really look neat is when they're floated in a massive frame. You know, what attracted me to this particular one was all these reds and golds, and then I'm playing off of more greeny browns versus the more orangey reds and things like that. There's a lot more latitude there than you might think. You know, a goldish painting is not a goldish painting. Anyway, I will give, I took a lot of liberties with old Williams' composition, quite a lot, which is, I don't actually even know the title of it because, as I said, I pulled this off of some college site, had like 5 or 6 of his paintings there with decent resolution. And I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. I'll have to look into this William Keith. Maybe I'll do some studies. And here I am, kind of doing a study, more like a. But I have to say, his was really loose, and just looking up on the Wikipedia, I could see some of his stuff's like super tight, like really tight. Maybe of course, the smaller you get, the looser you paint. That's usually a given, unless you start getting out little brushes with like 3 hairs on it. You're gonna start putting the Mona Lisa on the head of a pin, that kind of thing. Anyway, see, we're getting close to the end. I'll be having another video for you in a couple days here. I think I was lagging this week. I was going to put up that figure on my channel. It turned into just a bad idea. So I'm just going to call it out in the next few videos. Check out that link for my nudes channel. I'm very proud of some of the stuff I've been doing there. So, and the good news is there'll be no ads or anything there because it's not massive subscribers on that. And also YouTube doesn't really want to do advertising for anything that involves the human figure, which is frankly a shame. It just is. Anyway, until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble, and God bless you and your family.